I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You can't hate your neighbor with my mind stayed on spirit. I can't hate my neighbor with my mind stayed on spirit. Can't hate my neighbor with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Jazz hands. Good morning, Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Ahava is the Hebrew word for love, and we gather together every Sunday knowing that love is always the answer. That's right. I am Reverend Rainbow, she, her pronouns, and so grateful to serve as your spiritual director, and I welcome you here on this beautiful Sunday morning. We are a conscious community committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path of discovery, know that you are absolutely welcome here, yes? And for those joining online, thank you for being a part of our global virtual community. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. Make sure to hit that like, share, subscribe button, do all the things, and say hello to Kyle, who's on chat with you today. Thank you, Kyle. And if you're in the room, we invite you, too, to take out your phones, check in on social media, let folks know where you are today, take pictures, little video clips. Just remember to silence it. Turn that volume down first. Yes, yes. We've got it. Some of us almost have it. But I'll still remind you. And if you're a guest joining us for the first time here, we especially welcome you, knowing that your presence here makes a difference. So if there's anyone here for the first time, we'd love to give you a special warm welcome. So do we have anyone here for the first time? Yes, welcome and welcome. Yes, yes, yes. And we're going to hear a little bit more from our guest here later in the service. And we welcome two visitors that are fellow CSL practitioners, and welcome to our community. Yes, visiting from Louisville area, yes. So welcome, welcome. Where am I? Oh, we are so grateful, of course, for the many hearts and hands that come together to create this service. And I want to first acknowledge these amazing people behind me. Let's give some love to our CSL musicians, yes? We've got Belle on keys. Woo, woo, woo. We have Joan on percussion. Our feature vocalist today is Justin Norris. And our community singer is Corabelle. Yes. We are grateful we have Amy behind camera. We have Tanisha on sound today for the first time. She just finished training, so thank you for your service, yes. And Heather and Amina are with our youth today, yes. And we are so grateful as well for the many of you who serve behind the scenes in ways that we don't even know. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge our core council, or our board of directors. And this past weekend, we have been together. We have an annual retreat, and there's not much retreating to it. It's more of a planning, but we do have amazing time connecting and doing some spiritual practice together and getting clear on the vision of what is wanting to come through Ahava. So any core council members in the room, feel just stand. Let's love you up a minute for your service, for your holding the space, the vision. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Ron, our president. Jean, our vice president, is out of town. We have Kathy, one of our members at large. Jennifer, our treasurer, and Heather, our secretary, who is viewing online today. So thank you for your service. Yes, yes. All right, we have an opportunity every Sunday to remember that we are one. And as such, there is only one thing going on. We know that we are all a reflection of one another. So let's take a moment now to place your hands over your heart if you feel called, and to find someone in the room and say, thank you for being a reflection of me. Thank you for being a reflection of me. Mm-hmm. And we have an amazing vision and purpose here, so I invite you to repeat after me. We are an inclusive community, committed to global transformation, through personal evolution. And our purpose, let's do this one together. Ready? Wake up, step up, and make a difference. Yes. And today's affirmation, I will read once and then invite you all to affirm with me. I joyously and freely give of my time, talent, and treasure, knowing I am sourced by the infinite. I joyously and freely give of my time, talent, and treasure, knowing I am sourced by the infinite. Yes. So let us now take a deep breath as we invite in the heartbeat of Mother Earth and acknowledge and welcome our ancestors into this space. In the warm embrace of this sacred land, our hearts overflow with deep love and gratitude to these land's sacred, ancestral guardians, the Yochi, Osage, Cherokee, Shawnee, Hopewell, and Adena nations. By acknowledging these stories, we celebrate the strength, adaptability, and unique contribution of each community to the vibrant mosaic of our shared heritage. We humbly acknowledge the historical wounds and traumas that have touched and continue to touch the lives of Indigenous communities. In this present moment, our commitment springs from a well of love, respect, and the unwavering recognition of the inherent sovereignty of Indigenous peoples. We pledge to be attentive listeners, amplifiers of Indigenous voices, and perpetual learners about the rich diversity of Indigenous cultures, histories, and contemporary challenges. So I invite you now to take a deep breath. As we move into our centering song and our opening prayer this morning, which will be led by our practitioner, Kim D'Amato.
I am remembering who I am. 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 Am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
Breathing into that all-knowing, infinite source that sources us. I just simply breathe into that and know it as love, as peace, as freedom, abundance, power, and clarity. And I know that this flow, this infinite flow, cannot be separated from any one person. That this flow is the truth as me, as each and every person here in this room, as each and every beloved soul in our community. And I just breathe that in and know it. Steep in that truth for a moment. And knowing this truth, I feel that source, that force of nature, that power that is love itself, moving through this room, pouring from heart to heart to heart, and out into our community, our beloved city of Lexington, out into the state of Kentucky, to our country, and across the planet. And I set an intention this morning to know that this love is our very source, and that it infinitely expresses out of itself only what it knows, which is more and more infinite and creative love. And breathing into all of that, I bless our time together this morning. I bless each person here. I bless every word to be said, knowing that whatever needs to be said will be said, and whatever needs to be heard will be heard. And I let it be by saying, and so it is.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
I need to be taller. That's fine.
Your nails don't make up for the height.
Is it rude to point? This is from Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. In a regular meditation practice, work on the realization that you are surrounded by a divine presence, which wishes you only good because you are expressing its life Infinite mind. uh, Infinite mind will put ideas into your mind, words into your mouth, creativity into your hands, boundless opportunity before you, and guiding light on your way. All that is required is that you keep yourself centered in this creative flow. Keep in tune through positive thoughts. Keep responsive by your faith. And, as Thoreau would say, keep moving in the direction of your dreams. And so it is.
That's how it is. On the verge of crying, I don't feel like trying, but instead I'll sing, yeah. Instead I'll sing. When I'm done with worries and no one's around, I love to sing. When I can't find the words, everything starts to hurt. Done with this heavy heart, I let my burdens off and I'll sing. Ooh, 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 ooh. When I'm cold and tired and so uninspired, don't you know I'll sing, yeah. Let it out and sing. When I'm down and I feel like giving up, even the easy things feel rough. Don't you know I'll sing, yeah. I love to sing. When I feel down and out, under a heavy cloud, don't wanna talk, I let my burdens off and I sing. I sing. Ooh.
Yes. Thank you, Justin. Woo. All right, y'all. A little Halloween humor. What do you call a wolf who meditates? A werewolf. All right, I just had to. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Patty, for appreciating that. So it is October, which here at Ahava we call Rocktober, and we talk about abundance and prosperity and ways to rock our experience of this thing called life. So today's topic is the wonder of giving. And I have a question for you. I'm curious, how would your life be different? Really think about this. If you truly knew, believed, and acted as if the act of giving was an expression of trust that aligns you with the infinite source of abundance. How would your life be different if you live from that place of trust, knowing that you can never outgive the infinite source of life that is the very essence of who you are? And just notice when I say these things, your mind might say, yeah, but you don't know my story. Well, I can give in this area, but not that area. Well, what exactly do you mean by giving? How much, right? All of those things, that mental chatter is exactly the place to become a werewolf in your own life, right? So we're going to explore today the transformative power of giving freely of our time and our talent and our treasure, and identify a bit about what stands in our way. Because what I know is that the act of giving is more than just an act of generosity. It's actually an affirmation of trust in the abundant universe, right? Because we live from the inside out. Just like a flower, if you would imagine the bud of a flower. Within this bud, you may see it at a certain stage of its evolution, and it just looks kind of like a hard green thing. But inside that is so much beauty waiting to unfold. And in its own sacred, precious, divine time, called to the light, it begins to open and to bloom and unfold so that the world may see its beauty and grandeur. We are the same. We are nature, an expression of life itself, expression of this thing we call God, the universe, the divine, spirit, whatever word works for you. Within each of us is that seed, is implanted that seed of genius, of pure potentiality, of wisdom, of abundance. And we get to choose to live from the inside out by allowing all that we are as spirit in expression to unfold and to show the world our beauty and grandeur. We live from the inside out. That is a spiritual truth, but often as humans, we get it turned around, yes? And we can find ourselves living from the outside in, allowing the things out there to inform us about who we are, allowing the messages we hear from other people or the media or the world to say, you are this, you are a woman, you are white, you are rich, poor, whatever it may be. And with each of those labels comes a whole litany of stories and beliefs and ideas about what that means. But when we remember the spiritual truth that we live from the inside out, only we can define what that means to us, because we are the meaning makers of our own life. And when we turn within and listen to that infinite presence within us that is always leading and guiding us, we can't help but want to express its infinite nature. When we give, we are being that mirror of the flow of life and creation itself. It is said that God gave us life, and our gift to God is our life, right? So the gift of Spirit is that we are created, and then we get to give back to Spirit by living our life to the fullest. And within each of us is this wellspring of life energy, of life force, life source, abundance, wisdom, infinite intelligence, creativity, freedom, joy. All of that is within us, and it's our privilege to allow it to flow and be expressed. Giving of ourself through creative self-expression, giving of who we are through our time in service, through our infinite abilities and gifts and talents, as well as giving of the good that we are always in flow with through our finances and money. Giving fosters a sense of joy and connection and deep fulfillment because it reminds us of the truth of who we are. We don't truly know that we have something or we are something until we express it and give it away. Otherwise, it's just this little thing that's kind of like a little hidden secret. So giving comes with it so many gifts itself. It is generative in nature. Being generous and generosity itself generates more and more good. So I want to ask you, what are some benefits of giving in your own life? Think about, why do you give? Why do you give? Whether it be giving of your money to support a cause or the spiritual center or something you care deeply about, or of your time and your service. Those of you get here super early, you don't have to do that. But why do you do it? Because there must be something that awakens within you that feels good. So anyone, just shout out. Tell me, why are some reasons you give? How does it feel? Love. You give out of love and to feel love and to be love and to experience more love, right? Giving brings more love, yeah. Ditto on that. What else? Yeah, but no one else will. So you get to fill that void. That can be a whole other talk, Nasima. Let's have a conversation. Mm-hmm. Joy. Yeah. You feel joy when you give, right? Anyone else? Living in purpose. Living on purpose and in purpose and as purpose. Yeah, it feels good. Community. Yeah, so when you give, you get to experience a sense of community and connection and oneness. Yes. Abundance and wholeness, connection, right? So there's so many benefits to giving. And I know for me, when I give something, I then feel more abundant and prosperous, right? And the gift is in the circulation, right? It's not just a one-way transaction. So as I give, and then I get to see, whether it be a person or an organization or whatever it may be, the fruits of that through the appreciation and what it creates by starting that cycle and that flow of giving, then it comes back to me and fills me up with this joy and abundance and reminder of the truth of who I am. And that's what I mean by it's generative, because then, of course, I want to give more. And as I give, if you picture, right, physically, this is an example of giving something, then your hand becomes an open hand. You become that void, that empty void, and the universe abhors a vacuum, and it must be filled with something. And what we know, what we teach here is this law of reciprocity is once we give, we must receive. And what we put out comes back to us. So giving of our time, talent, and treasure opens us to be in that flow and remind us of who we are. And yet, there's often blocks and obstacles to giving. It can lead to overgiving and feeling resentful. If we begin to give from an expectation of, well, I'll give, but if this person doesn't do A, B, or C, or this place doesn't start to do this and that and the other, I'll give, but if they don't appreciate, or if I don't get a thank you card, right? All of these ways that we can get out of alignment with that pure flow of just giving because we can't help but to give because it feels good. And we're in that flow. And then also, as I talked about last week, there's this pervasive place that many people live, the majority of the collective consciousness live, which is called scarcity. Scarcity, right? And we can dance in and out of scarcity throughout our day, throughout our lifetime. But we always have the invitation by being aware, wolf if it's Halloween, and coming back to the reminder that we are one with the infinite. And there's an infinite source within us. The law of giving states that when we feel constricted or lack, something's got to give. Right? How many times are we like, oh, I just can't. Something's going, whether it be all the pressures and the activity of life and all that overwhelm, or the fear and the lack of finances, and I don't know how I'm going to do this or that, the other. Something's got to give. Think about that. Something's got to give. We must find a way to activate that flow to be open to receive by giving. So when things start to get tight, something's got to give, so start giving. And especially when your mind is telling you that you have nothing to give. This is the opportunity for healing and transformation to occur. By not giving from a place of lack, but to allow opening the flow by giving to shift your consciousness into the truth and placing your faith and trust in the infinite source of life. So giving is the exact opportunity to remind ourselves that we are infinite beings sourced by an infinite substance of life. And here's the nuance, y'all. This is why it's a practice. We also don't want to be giving simply to get, right? So if you're sitting there feeling like, I don't have enough time, I don't know, and Rainbow's telling me, okay, I just need to give so I can get. Well, if we're giving just to get something, again, it's the consciousness, the mindset behind anything that we do that is actually creating that vibrational ripple effect in our life. So it's not just the simple act of giving, it's shifting your consciousness to give from that overflow. Even when your mind may be saying, I have nothing to give right now, that's the place to turn within in consciousness, to meditate, and to ask Spirit, Spirit, I don't know, I feel like I have nothing to give, show me what I have to give. And perhaps it's a smile to the next person who walks past you. Our minds could say that it has to be some big financial gift, or I have to go, take a day off work and serve all day at the food pantry. That's just a trick of the ego mind to keep us from activating the flow in the one next easy step that we can do. We can always do and give something in this moment. When you turn within and ask and align with that source first, and then saying, okay, Spirit, I'm trusting you, I'm doing this, and you step out fully in faith, trusting that a way will be made, a way will be made. And again, I want to come back to this idea that we're talking about giving in all forms. When we feel down, what can we do? Sing. We can sing and express ourselves. We can give of our talents. We can give of our time and service. Time, talent, and treasure. They're often called the 3 T's. So consider if there's an area of your life that feels out of balance, how can you begin to open up the flow by giving more? And if I had a student in the class that we're doing right now, the spiritual economics class, ask, well, if I'm feeling like I'm needing more money, and what I'm wanting to attract is more money, do I have to give money, or can I give of my time in order to open the flow to get more money? So I understand, right, the premise of this question, and my answer was kind of twofold, because there are some in this, teaching of New Thought and metaphysics and science of mind, prosperity teaching that would say, open up and give in the area that you are lacking in order to receive in that area. I think it's more of a both and, right? I think that it's all energy and it's all an expression of the divine. So turning within and asking yourself, asking that higher wisdom within you, what do I have to give today? Please show me, Spirit. And stepping forth by giving of that in a way that you can fully give freely, right, without attachment to outcome or anything else like that, that will activate that flow, because how will that make you feel? We all just said it, joy and abundance and whatever. And then you can move and grow from there. And I said, if you're feeling lack in a particular area and notice that you are always very generous in, say you're a generous giver of your finances but feel like you never have enough time, then there could be an opportunity to shift in that particular aspect by being willing to give of your time. So it's not like you have to do this, I guess is what I'm saying, right? Listen to yourself. I'm not here to say, oh, yes, it's this way and this way. I know that any expression of giving opens that flow, and I think there's often an opportunity in that area that we may feel lack to practice stepping out on faith by giving in that area and being open as a divine experiment to see how it transforms your life, right? In the spiritual economics book that we're studying this month, Eric Butterworth tells a story. And again, this book was written back in the day. So some of the stories and language are a little archaic, but the spiritual principles are timeless. So he tells of a traveling preacher that goes to a small little community church that doesn't have a minister that's looking for someone to fill in that Sunday. And he comes with his young son, and he gives the message, and they pass the offering, and he gives what he has, which is about $1 in his wallet. Today, that would probably be equal to a 20. And then at the end of the service, the board member or whoever is running that church comes to him and says, thank you so much for sharing and being here with our precious community. We have very little operating funds, so what we can offer you is, what came in through the offering today. And he gives him the dollar bill, because that was what was in the offering basket. And at first the preacher receives it and kind of feels, right? Feels a little bit of that disappointment. And then looks down at his son and goes, oh, Dad, if you would have given more, you would have gotten so much more. This is how the law of giving works, right? Because what is really occurring is that it's just spirit life giving and receiving of itself all in the flow of oneness. So what would it mean to open up the flow and activate our trust in this law of giving by taking that initial step, moving forward in faith to move from lack and not enoughness to then proving God's Spirit as your source and substance of all supply by getting into that flow. Sharing of your time, the gift of your presence, actively listening, being, supporting someone, creating a meaningful connection, being of service, sharing of your talents, your unique gifts and skills, your creativity, your abilities, and sharing without any expectation of return, but simply for the joy of enhancing the lives of others in your community. Giving of your treasure, your financial or material giving, as a tangible expression in the trust of the abundant nature of the universe. And if your mind says, I've got nothing to give, I guarantee you, you all have a junk drawer or a place in your closet, something that's sitting there collecting dust that no longer serves you, that may benefit someone else. Start the flow there and donate something, right? We have our food pantry. We invite you when you go grocery shopping, if you're able to, pick up a few extra cans and bring them on Sunday to fill our food pantry. There are many ways we can give, and we can begin to use this practice to shift from the mindset of scarcity and lack and fear and doubt and insufficiency to beginning to open to the truth and the flow of the infinite source within. Surrendering control, letting go of the need to manage what it looks like or the outcome, but simply trusting that we are always supported and trusting in the reciprocity of the universe. So this week, I invite you to start small with a little divine experiment. What is a step that you can take that is a meaningful way to give? And do so consciously and stay aware to then notice how you feel when you give. And if you give and that fear and lack comes over, just notice it. Breathe into it, allow it. Turn to a practitioner or a friend if you need to for support. And then affirm for yourself, I live in an infinite, abundant universe. God is the source and substance of my supply. I want for nothing. I cannot outgive the infinite, right? Use those affirmations to shift. So I invite you this week to consider what area of your life you would like to give more freely. Your time, your talent, your treasure. And then reflect on the abundance that is already all around you and within you as you step into this divine experiment. Are you willing? Yes. Are you willing enthusiastically? Yes. All right, let's take it into prayer. Taking that deep breath. We open our hearts and minds to recognize the truth of the one, this infinite source of life that is abundance, this infinite cosmic isness that is joy and freedom and creativity, that is expressing in, as, and through all life. Knowing and recognizing this life of abundance is the very life that is breathing me. I am one with all. How good it is to recognize and to know this truth. That as I breathe in, I must breathe out in order to be able and willing to again breathe in. Life is sustained by the cycle of giving and receiving. So how good it is to know that God is the source and substance of my supply. How good it is to know that there is an infinite presence living and moving and having its being in, as, and through me. And I am always at choice. I get to choose how to express this infinite source in a way that only I can, as the unique expression of the divine. So I enthusiastically move into this divine experiment, saying yes to giving freely of my time, talent, and treasure, to get to know myself and the divine more fully by stretching a little past my comfort zone and activating that flow and saying yes to the law of giving, as the law always says yes and corresponds to my word. So with great gratitude for the realization of the abundance and the infinite nature of life expressing in, as, and through me, expressing as the very lives of each and every person hearing the sound of my voice right here, right now, for this beloved community, Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. With great gratitude for the fulfillment of this prayer, I release this word into the action of the law that always says, yes, my beloved, it is done. And we accept this by saying, and so it is.
In this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Yes, and so it is. So I invite you now to find someone for our moment of integration, to share, to reflect with. Turn to someone and share what it is, what area, time, talent, and treasure are you going to open that flow and give, right? Where are you inspired to give more this week? So find someone, share. Take another moment and then begin to wrap up your sharing. Thank your partner. And taking that deep breath, bringing your awareness back. Yes, thank you, partner. Thank you, sharing. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So this month, we are having the opportunity to participate actively in this law of giving in our Rocktober experiment that we call unexpected income or extra. No, there's another word. I never remember it. I'm looking at Nancy. If y'all didn't know, that's Nancy right there, y'all. You didn't know. I know. I know, right? Otherwise known as protege joyously. Okay, sorry, I digress. All right, so we are participating in this experiment, and if you have not been here yet in October, please raise your hand. Kathy Jones will give you one of these envelopes. Oh, great, so a couple people over here need one. And inside this, you will find this little slip where you can write your name, drop it in the prayer box. Myself and the practitioners will pray for abundance for you. And then we ask that any extra income that comes in, that you make note of it, pay attention to it, and then commit to giving 10% back to Ahava as a thank you. And we'll be excited to see what comes in. Also in the envelope is a way to support you, a prayer for prosperity. Put this up somewhere that you see it, use it daily. Gratitude affirmation, same thing. Place it on your bathroom mirror, fridge, car, make copies, put them everywhere. And then lastly in here is your opportunity to commit to give to this community in 2025. So what we're asking is that you mindfully, prayerfully consider the amount that you anticipate and would like to give to support this community next year. This is not like I have to give this right now, right? You can give it weekly, monthly, over time throughout 2025. And our core council are taking this information to build the framework of our budget for next year to see what programs we can grow and expand and continue to do. So please, I know many of you have already turned these in, but there is room to grow, and we look forward to receiving these throughout this week. If you can please turn them in either today as the basket goes around, mail them in, drop them in this week, or contact us with that information so we can be good stewards of our finances. Yes? Yes. All right. Also, the last Sunday of the month, not only is it our potluck today, yummy, yummy, it is what we call Giving Sunday. And so we have two opportunities today. So our core council has decided that we want to financially support the Center for Spiritual Living in Asheville that has been affected by the recent hurricane and the floods. And so we are going to be donating to CSL Asheville. And we also get to hear today from a local opportunity to support an initiative and something that I think you're all really going to want to get behind. And we are giving in kind to this event, but it's more than an event, but particularly to this event as well. I will be there in service. Our own Jennifer Lance will be a photographer, and there's other volunteer opportunities. But at this point, I think we're also looking for support financially and to show up to the event. So you're like, what are you talking about, Rainbow? I just want to share this beautiful, beloved being. Jessica, come on up. Jessica Mathis, am I saying that right? Yeah, you grab that mic, but come over here. And Jessica's going to tell us, what's fun is Jessica also watches us online, but we just met as we connected via this for the first time. So tell us.
Hi, everybody. I am from Louisville, Kentucky. My name is Jessica Mathis. I'm also known as Divinity Rose because I come from a background in stand-up comedy and performing and writing. I'm a multi-award-winning producer-director. I'm working on a really exciting project, and I became aware of Ahava online. I started watching online because my sister friend Kim and I have been like besties for a very long time, and she's been a big part of my journey and vice versa. And so I'm really excited and grateful to be here in person and have this opportunity. I am producing a project called Kentucky Unmasked because I went through foster homes as a kid, and every home, like every 10 homes, had a different set of laws or rules or religions, all churches of different types, from Pentecostal to non-denominational. And I had to learn to adapt, and I learned to mask early on. And we have come to a time where it's so apparent that when we unmask, we step into our power, and we are a better contribution to the world around us. Whether that's letting go of secrets related to body autonomy or gender identity or neurodivergence or invisible illness. So I've gathered storytellers and performers. Kim's providing music. We have a slate of storytellers telling their vulnerable coming out stories. And when I say coming out, I don't just mean sexuality. I mean presenting to the world as they really are and making that important decision, making that brave decision. So that's next Friday, November 1st at Lex Studios, because we're recording this performance with a limited live studio audience, and we're making a documentary called Kentucky Unmasked to show the world that Kentucky is more diverse than they know, and that even Kentuckians know. Like that there are a whole spectrum of identities and lifestyles and people here, and we need to be a little louder about that. And so we hope that this will inspire many people. We hope that you'll join us. If you can't afford the tickets at KentuckyUnmasked.com, just let me know you want to volunteer. Really, it's mostly just telling people you can go that way. Like, we just want to be able to include people that would like to be there, and we'd love to have more positive energy there. And if it's okay, can I give a 1 minute and 30-second-ish preview? Okay, cool. So my story will be a little longer, but this is just a little spoken word piece I wrote right before I met Kim, honestly. It was a time where I kept feeling like the world was breaking my mask, and I would try to put it back together, and it'd break my mask, or something would come along, crack me, I'd stitch it back together. And then one day got the message from Spirit, maybe you're not supposed to put the mask back together. Maybe you should just let it crumble and lie on the floor in a pile of rubble so that something new can be born. I wrote this at that time. I refuse to believe that this existence is as empty as you're trying to get me to buy. And all the money in the world couldn't buy your empty existence anyways. So maybe being poor and spending a lot of time in rejected solitude made me a little creative. Since that's all I got, I'll work with what I got, and I'll create something I love that money can't buy. Even if all I've got is this thread that I am barely hanging by, I'll still let go in love. Because I realized that in the past, I would have clung to that thread when you cut me deep. And boy, did you cut me deep. You cut so much and I stitched so much. That's why the reason that all I've got left is that one thread. But then I realized it's when I stopped stitching and I let go of that thread that I stopped leaking into the lives of others, and I began to flow forth like a raging river that opened doors to a new existence and wove me new robes of gold for that new existence that you tried to tell me didn't exist and sweep under the carpet behind you while you tried to sell me your shitty little piece of nothing. So I'm sorry, but I refuse to believe that this existence is as empty as you're trying to get me to buy. And all the money in the world couldn't buy your empty existence anyways. Thank you. I hope you'll join us Friday. Doors open at 6:30 for the red carpet. There is a whole slate of amazing souls performing, and then the show starts at 8. So just let me or Rainbow know if you want to attend as a volunteer, or you can make a tax-exempt donation on our website or get tickets, KentuckyUnmasked.com. Woo! It's Lex Studios. If you're not familiar with Lex Studios, it's Kentucky's largest production facility. It recently just launched. There had been stuff produced there before, but it used to be movie theater on Codell, and it's been transformed into a production facility. with 3 sound stages. And now for this event, they built in a performance stage for us
wow.
into the lobby because they would like to have more live events there. And so they're kind of using ours as a beta test to do
Awesome.
more live streaming for streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So we're really excited that they jumped on board as a partner, and they're providing such a cool venue for us to record in and all the camera and fancy gear. So
Awesome. And your website is Kentucky
Unmasked.com. Yep.
That's easy. Is it written out Kentucky or KY?
It is written out.
Okay, KentuckyUnmasked.com. Go get your tickets, donate, support. Be there Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Woo! Yes, Divinity Rose. You know, it's like sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I do like 20-minute message, and then someone gets up in 1 minute and tells exactly the message in a way that just pops your heart, which is why I love creative expression. So thank you for that and how timely it all just came together. All right. Thank you for being patient, y'all. I know we've had some extra stuff to share with you today. So take a breath as we now move into our time of giving. And you can give online. You can go to our website. You can also text the word give to 859-209-6996. And we're going to pass the basket in the room as well. So let us now affirm together our offering affirmation. Repeat after me. Divine love as me. Blesses and multiplies all that I have. All that I give. And all that I receive. I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava. Knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Yes. I'm so grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful, grateful.
So grateful. Some amazing things coming up here at Ahava. Today, after the potluck, we'll be having our book study on spiritual economics. If you want to stick around, drop in and reflect a little bit more on this chapter on the wonder of giving. We'll be starting a little later. We'll start at 12:30 today instead of noon in that front little room. And today also, we have our youth and family trunk or treat event from 3 to 5 in the parking lot. Come, and it's open for all, y'all. I know some adults also like to dress up, and I know some adults also like candy, and I know some adults also like family-friendly drag. So not only will there be candy in the parking lot, at 4 o'clock we'll move in here for the Imperial Court's presentation of a Halloween drag show. And all the donations and tips are going to support our youth program. So share the word, come back, do your thing, and know that that is happening today. Super fun. We also, as you just heard, Kentucky Unmasked on Friday. We have an ecstatic dance on Saturday, November 9th. And we are hearing from Wendy Noel Green Burial on November 10th, that's Sunday after service, with an informational presentation. If you're interested in natural burials, there will be more. Stick around for that. Lastly, Ahava 101. If you want to get more involved, if you're curious what it means to actually be a member in this community, and even if you aren't ready quite to be a member, but you want to know more how to get involved, Ahava 101 is for you Sunday after service, November 24th, so in a month. Okay, let us now stand and remember that we have our practitioners to support us, prayer after service over here, prayer box, prayer requests online. And I invite you to repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my financial affairs. I accept it. I am it. And I share it. Just the way it appears. And just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Yes. And thank you for this day, Spirit.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. This wonderful, wonderful, this wonderful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my beautiful friends. My beautiful, my beautiful friends. Everybody. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This wonderful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a great day.